Love is patient, but we don't understand what patience really is. Love becomes overwhelming. See, a lot of times we don't understand why things are happening the way that they are happening because we haven't put the time and energy and effort to understand what this is. See, love is patience when you understand yourself. But people don't tell you that you really need to put yourself first in order to understand that it is going to be okay to let time do its job. But when we let time do its job, that's when we become anxious. That's when we become annoyed. That's when we become stressed out because it's not happening in the time that we think is going to happen. See, success doesn't happen overnight. It happens as you're going along the journey. It helps you identify why you're doing something at the level that you're doing it. See, love is patient. It's a broad statement because we don't know where to start. I've learned in order to give love, I have to learn how to love myself. And once I learn how to love myself, I can give the love that I'm looking for. See, patience comes with time, but love comes with understanding. And when you combine them, that's when you get love is patient. See, a lot of times we have to understand why we're doing things. What is our intention behind the purpose that we're doing it today? Our intention is so confused because we're not in tune with ourselves as a person. For the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be speaking about how to build love and understand the aspect of being patient while you're building love within yourself. Love is patient, but if you understand how to build this up, it's going to be so overwhelming. When I was going through my divorce, I had to learn that I was lacking something. I lacked the understanding that I didn't know, so I really need to put the time and effort to learn how can I make this work for my next relationship. See, a lot of times we go through things, we go through life and make a mistake, but as we're making a mistake, we don't learn from the mistake because we keep making them, right? A mistake is the lesson that you need to learn in order to start growing and healing. But a lot of times we have to make so many mistakes to say, okay, today is the final day I'm going to make this mistake. What went wrong and how can I be better? When I was in my last relationship, I had to learn that I didn't know nothing about relationship. I didn't know what it took to be a man. I didn't know what it took to love my spouse. I didn't know what it took to even understand what a relationship was. See, if you don't put the time and effort to learn something that you don't know, you will forever be confused because now you're doing your best. But when you actually understand it and study and practice it and walk in it every day, what you're understanding becomes the daily routine. Because now you're putting the effort to learn something that you didn't know. Well, when I didn't know about a relationship, I knew I need to dive in to learn what is a relationship. What does it consist of? Why is it here? Why is it in this earth? Why does everybody want to be in a relationship? What is the meaning behind it? What's the purpose behind it? What's the goal of it? What is the intention? A lot of times we do things for the heck of it because we want to waste the other person's time because we don't know who we are. So not only is a relationship so overwhelming, now we have to understand what it is. Here's my definition of relationship. A relationship is you working on yourself and your spouse, your partner, your friend, your brother, your sister, your cousin, anything of this nature. When you come into this other person, you all know what value you bring to this table. About table, I'm actually talking about when you meet this one person, this other person, what can you do for each other? See, a relationship shows you that you really have a lot to work to do. It's not just your intimate relationship. I'm talking about your business relationship. I'm talking about your brother. Any relationship that you come encounter with, you need to learn what you can bring to this table to offer this other person. See, a lot of times we come to this table want this other person to offer us something that we lack. But we lacking it, now we're trying to figure out what's the best for us. But the best for us is working on ourselves. So I had to learn that love is patient because I had to give myself some type of grace. I had to learn that relationship. I really had to learn who I am in order to bring some type of value to this next person. I can't work on this next person if I'm not working on myself. I can't work on the next person when I'm working on myself. A relationship is understanding the value that you have. A relationship is saying, I'm here today, but where am I trying to go tomorrow? What is my intention when meeting this new person? See, a lot of times we get in a new situation with no intentions. Now we're wasting the other person's time. Not only their time, we're wasting our times as well. Because now we want them to paint our picture when our picture is so confused. See, a lot of times when you don't put effort to something that you don't know, you will forever be confused because now you're doing your best. But when you put your time and effort to things and you learn how to understand it and why it's important and why it's here and why everybody want to achieve it and have it, is because now you understand yourself. My divorce taught me a lot of more lessons that I thought I would have learned because I didn't know what I was going through. When I asked for a divorce, that's when everything started to happen. I had to learn how to be with myself. I had to love myself. I had to be kind to myself. I had to be patient. I had to walk into my purpose. I had to understand what my purpose was. I had to even understand if I had dreams or goals or aspirations, anything of that nature. See, people don't tell you as you're going through pain, you're finding out your purpose. You're finding out your passion. Your passion has came from your past because now your past is understandable. You're working on yourself, which makes it understandable. But when it's understandable, how can you grow from this? When I asked my ex-wife for a divorce, I didn't know everything that was going to happen the way that it happened. I found out I had abandonment issues. I found out I didn't love myself. I found out how to put yourself first. I found out what a relationship was. I found out how I could bring value to myself. Notice I said myself. I didn't say to the next person. I said to myself. How can I bring value to myself if I don't understand how to do this? See, when you're patient to yourself, you understand what time is. When you're kind to yourself, that's when you love and build everything that you have within yourself. And what's so scary is that when we go through pain, the pain is right in front of us. We don't know how to deal with it because we want to heal so quick. We want to heal and grow from it and be done with it as soon as it came to us. I remember this one time I was sick. I was getting sick. I felt myself getting sick. I felt it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm about to go drink some orange juice. I'm about to go buy some orange juices. Look, small little containers. Then one small container had 46 grams of sugar and I drank 4 of them. Whatever the math that is, that's how much I consumed within an hour. I did that because I knew I was about to be sick. And I didn't want to be sick. I wanted to be healthy because I wanted to go ahead and rise up to the occasion of not being sick. The same day, I felt myself get worse because I consumed so much sugar, not enough water, and I wanted to heal quicker than I expected to heal. So for the next 5 days, I was sick because I tried to rush the process. I tried to rush me not being sick by drinking orange juices. But the orange juices had so much sugar in them, almost, what is it called? I had a sugar rush or something. But I was even worse than I was come Friday than I was Monday. I didn't understand that as you're going through your pain, it really takes time to really understand why you're going through this particular time and moment. We can't rush the pain because the pain is not right here in front of us because we don't understand it. We feel it coming. We see that is approaching us, but how do we control what's not in front of us? How do we understand what's coming to us is meant to happen for us? How do we understand that? I had to understand that I need to get sick in order to say I need to start resting. Okay, I need to start resting. I need to start resting. So the lesson behind that is that I need to rest. It is okay to rest. I was up running and doing so many things all at once. I forgot to put my rest first and put myself first. I forgot about the process. But when I got sick, I really got some good sleep. I'm like, oh, this make a lot of sense. I don't want to get sick no more. However, I understood the lesson that was presented to us. A lot of times when things are presented to you, you need to understand why it's presented for you. I need to get sick so I can start resting and understand it's okay to rest. Mind blowing. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That make a lot of sense. I should have done this to begin with, but I didn't understand it. But now when you understand what's coming to you, how can you grow into it? No, you're not gonna run away from it. It's not gonna not stop happening. It's like, how can I work with this and actually grow into a new version of myself? But being in pain shows you why you need to give yourself patience, why you need to understand patience and give yourself grace so you can start loving yourself. But pain just didn't come today. My divorce just didn't happen overnight. It built up to that because I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't feeling like myself. It didn't happen overnight, but it built up to this. Same concept with pain. Pain doesn't happen overnight. It's constantly getting built and stacked upon each other without you even realizing what's happening. So now as this continue to build, this one day you're just so overwhelmed because you let your pain become your present, and now you're stressed out and overwhelmed because you didn't deal with what you was dealing with in the moment in time that it came. You didn't deal with your history. You didn't deal with your trauma. You didn't deal with your pain. You didn't deal with your neglectness. You didn't deal with your abandonment. You didn't deal with you being in pain at the time that you was hurt. And how could you? You didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to deal with my divorce. How can you deal with something that you don't know how to do when you don't put the time and effort to learn it? I didn't know that. I didn't understand that. But I understood when I went through my pain, I needed to learn something from this. As you're going through your past and your present is here today, you need to understand there's a reason behind everything. What happened? What did I go through? What did I experience? Who was in my life that was not supposed to be in my life? You know what I mean? Like, we really have to dive into to our history to say our history is our present, because we don't understand what has happened to us. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You just feel like a victim because you don't know how to handle your pain. And it's okay. It's okay to feel like this. Here's how you handle your history. Don't be afraid to identify what has hurt you. Don't be scared to say this hurt me at this time, at this moment, because of whatever reason it was. What this is doing is helping you dig up from the past and let the past be the present, because now you understand how to work with your past rather than against it. But now as you're working with your past, your future is now prepared from today because you understand your history. There's something happening when you learn how to be patient with yourself, when you learn how to love with everything that you have been through. You don't necessarily have to love it, but you have to accept it. Acceptance opens the door for you to love yourself. If you continue to blame yourself for everything that has happened in your life, there's something that's going to happen. You're going to forever be a victim because healing has not crossed your mind. Healing comes when you understand why things are happening the way that they're happening. Oh, I can't change it. Okay, cool. How did this make me feel? You really need to have a conversation with yourself to say, this is how I felt, and I feel every emotion. You need to walk through every emotion that you went through, because as I was going through my heartbreak, through my divorce, it was really heartbreaking. My heart was broken. I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to be accompanied by her. I thought my life was going to freeze. I thought I was going to be alone forever. I didn't know what I needed to do in order to really start understanding that it needed to happen for me so I could understand my purpose. But the thing about being afraid and alone, we don't take the risk that we need to take in order to start growing. When I asked for a divorce, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but I had to put myself first. I had to understand, as I'm putting myself first, something massive is going to come from this. I started to really dig in for my history. My dad not been in my life. I had to learn how to be a man. I had to learn how to find my purpose. I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn what self-love was. I had to learn what love was. I had to learn what relationship was. I had to learn so many things that we were so overwhelming that I started to take it day by day. The next point I want to hit on is taking things day by day. As life is coming to you, it's not going to stop happening for you. But as it's coming to you, everything's going to happen all at once. But as it's happening all at once, learn to take it step by step by step by step. Why am I saying this? Because when I was going through a divorce, I had to learn that I'm dealing with so many things. I was in the Marine Corps. I was getting divorced. I was about to get out the Marine Corps. I had to find out my dream, my purpose. I had to figure out if I was about to move back to my hometown. I had to figure out so many things I didn't know how to control because there was so many things stacking on top of each other. So I'm like, how can I deal with all this that's here all at once? I had to really identify what I was going through, pull one, and start working on this. Like, for example, when I filed for divorce, the whole month, I'm only working on signing the papers. I'm only working on one thing. Now, pull another thing. Oh, it's time for me. I'm out the military, out the Marine Corps. I need to start figuring out what I want to do. Do I want to stay in California? Do I want to move back to Arkansas? Oh, okay, I'm moving back to Arkansas. Okay, I'm working on this one thing. What do I need to do? What do I need to get done? What am I doing? I'm taking it step by step. I'm taking my time. I'm being patient with the journey, because me being patient with the journey is showing me why this is important. It's showing me that it's going to be okay, but if I understand why it's okay, I'm going to be stressed out. I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to be anxious. I'm going to be annoyed. But see, here's the thing about patience. It builds understanding that it's okay to love yourself. So as I'm taking task by task by task by task by task, I'm able to finish one at a time. I'm able to understand one thing that comes in my life. I'm able to understand and control the time that I have on one thing rather than a lot of things and losing my mind. Here's why this is so important, because adversity, your pain is not going to stop happening. It's just going to be painted in a new picture to when it get presented to yourself. But how do you handle something that you don't know that's coming? You have to understand patience. Remember when I told you in the beginning, love is patient, because you have to understand why it's patience. When problems come and your new level of understanding, you're able to control them as they're coming rather than let them pile up. When you control a problem that comes, you have grown more than you think, because now you understand yourself more. Now you took the step that's here, and now you worked on, now you understand it. Now you say, now it's going to be okay. Okay, I have to move out of California, move back to Arkansas. What do I need to do? Okay, I need to ship my car, I need to ship my gear, my equipment, my clothes. I need to ship out there. Okay, cool. I need to do this and schedule that. I did that. Got delivered. Okay, task number 1 is completed. Whew. Took a deep breath. Now I understand why I started to give myself grace. When life is happening, it's happening for you, but you have to understand the time and effort that you have to put into yourself to learn that love is going to be patient. And when you understand love is patient and you understand yourself, now you understand the type of love I can give this next person. Now I understand what love, what relationships is, because I put the time into myself to say, I want this, so I need to learn more about love, relationships, dreams, purpose, my goals. I need to learn about it. That's what I've been doing. I've been learning about it because I understand how to take one task at a time and to let it help me in life rather than let it stress me out. When I understand love is patient, I understand when people come into my life, I have to be patient with them. I'm gonna say that again. When people are coming to my life, I have to be patient with them, because we have to take it day by day by day by day. See, a lot of times as we're working on ourselves, we want this next person to come into our lives at the level and phase that we're at to say, why aren't you here with me? No. When you're patient, you're understanding. When you love yourself, you know how to be understanding at their level and to say that it's going to be okay. You don't have to be where I'm at today, but what you do have to do is just keep working on yourself. Love is patient because you become more understanding, because you put the time and effort to learning what this is. When you take things one step at a time, you really start to grow and understand that life is going to be okay. But it's not okay if you let it overwhelm you, if you let it stress you out, if you let it build up your anxiousness, if you let it destroy you. It's not going to be okay. But if you control what you can control, life is going to be understanding because you understand patience. Life is going to be understanding because you understand how to love yourself. When you love yourself and know how to love yourself, this is the love that you give me the next person. This is the love that you're giving your next relationship. This is the love that you're giving to anybody that you come across. Why am I saying this? Because if you don't understand yourself, this person that's coming to your life can't figure out who you are, because you can't even tell them about yourself. When life happens, it's happening for you, but we have to understand, we have to be patient with the process, because as we're patient with the process, that's when we become more understanding. Love is patient because love is kind. Love is patient because it does not envy. Love is patient because it does not boast. But we have to understand why things are happening at the level and time that they're presented to even understand that it's going to be okay.